really well. Can you talk a little bit about
Well, Greg's a extremely strong young man, and the more experience he gets, you can see he gets more comfortable in our blocking schemes, and he's a very good pass protector too. So we have a lot of confidence in Greg.
Ellis Johnson said on Sunday that there's not a weak spot in the offense for Texas A&M. I guess what are some of the other challenges that they pose for you guys on offense besides
Well, they've got outstanding receivers, and of course they have the Evans kid, and I think he's one of the top guys in college football. Their running backs are as good as anybody in college football. Their line's good. That's kind of what he means by that. I mean, there's not an area that really stands out that you'd say is a weakness. Matter of fact, most of them are strengths. And then when you throw that quarterback in that scrambles around and makes plays, when things break down, that creates huge challenges.
How has Nick looked in the last, obviously he has practice today, but this Sunday, kind of getting back in the rhythm? Rep talked a little about rust. You kind of want to get as many reps as possible. So how has he looked?
Well, all I can go by is Sunday, and he looked pretty good. We didn't go crazy. We had a 12-period practice, but he looked pretty good. And so hopefully another day of rest, and he'll be, looking good today.
Obviously focusing so much on the offenses in this game, and statistically, A&M is not doing very well on defense, statistically speaking. But what have you seen from their defense?
Well, anytime their offense is scoring a lot of points and stuff, sometimes the game goes longer. So statistically, I think some of that's deceiving. Then also they played without some of their main guys, I believe, earlier in the year. And they've gotten better, and they're starting to settle in on who they are, and I thought they did a solid job defending Ole Miss. They bring a lot of pressure. They do a lot of different things, and we're going to have to handle that. And we have to score some points.
Everybody talks about this. I know you weren't in the SEC last year, but everybody talks about how challenging it is. How impressive is it what Texas A&M kind of instant success in this league like they had last year and obviously this year?
Yeah, well, of course they were a good program before they got in the league. Then you throw that quarterback in, and certain players have the ability to make people even better than they really are, and that's not anything to take away from their other players. They got some great players, but he really makes them go.
We talked about a lot of the points and the stats, but what do you see the offense, Kevin Sumlin, that kind of thing? What do you see most? What stands out most about outside of obviously the quarterback?
Yeah, well, first of all, Kevin Sumlin's a great offensive mind. I coached against when I was at Tulsa, and he was at Houston. They were putting up similar numbers. I mean, he's one of the best in the business, and he's got a quarterback and some offensive guys that can really do what he needs them to do, and they got it going.
As an offensive guy, just kind of like with Ole Miss, do you feed off games like this where you can maybe go one-on-one and maybe kind of show who has the better offense?
All I'm worried about winning. I mean, I'm not into seeing who's got the best offense. It's who's got the best team, and just trying to strategically find the best chance we have of winning and doing that. So that's really all I'm focused in on.
Yes, it's just part of the process of this season, and not to harp on last year a lot, but this was one of those games that really defined some of the struggles of last season for a lot of fans. It was something that was brought up, I'm sure, to you and the assistants as you went over the summer to various different speaking engagements. What would a game like this mean to the program just in this season to put up a good performance and win this kind of game against a top team on national television and all that?
Well, to be honest with you, the only thing that we've talked about, the only thing on our mind is this year. It's a huge game for us this year. It's a completely different deal than it was last year, and it's a big one. And our guys are going to be extremely excited to play this one. It's a huge challenge for us, and it's kind of one of those measuring sticks, another measuring stick for our program and where we're at this year.
Coach, Kyle Field is known for having a 12-man and being a pretty wild atmosphere. How do you think playing at LSU at night has prepared this team for that?
Hopefully it's prepared us. I mean, obviously LSU is a very tough place to play at night. I've heard nothing but great things about this environment, and we'll do everything we can, in practice to simulate crowd noise. But there's nothing like the real thing when everything's going on. But I like to think that because of the experience we had at LSU, it'll help us for this one.
People said Cam Newton was a once-in-a-lifetime player. Then you see a guy like Johnny Manziel. Just what do you think of that when you see this many quarterbacks, and it seems like every few years popping up now?
Well, I would say probably those two you just mentioned are probably two of the best to ever play the game in college football. And we only got the chance to see Cam Newton for 1 year, and but this guy's, he's in the same element. I mean, they're different, but they're still just some of the best ever played.
Guys, when you got a quarterback of that caliber and you're an offensive coordinator, does it open up things? Is it almost fun to game plan because of all the things?
Well, when you got a special player, you can call anything, and it usually works. And you've got, they can get you out of bad plays, and they can make stuff right that's not right, and the special ones can do that.
Is there a point to just the defense or even the offense, if there's a mistake that's made or Manziel does something that they've just got to, you guys talk about moving on to the next play, but you really got to do it in a game like that?
I think that's critical. I mean, he's going to get his. I mean, there's no doubt, and we just got to hang in there, and we got to keep battling. The good thing is we do have some depth on defense, and that'll be very critical in a game like this. But you got to put the play behind you, and you got to move forward. And for the most part, I feel like our defense has done that this year.
Gus, last week you mentioned that Justin Garrett's status is week to week. So how is he looking for this week?
Same thing, week to week.
And Montravius and CJ expected to be able to return?
I believe they'll practice today. Anything else?
Anything else?
Thank you.